My hand's actually shaking.
G'day, I'm Connell from the Advisor Games, and once again we are doing 10 hot nuggets where I ask my guests 10 hot questions while we eat 10 spicy nuggets. Today I've got Jeremy Benson from BetaShares, also known as the Wolf of Margaret Street. Welcome, Mr. Benson.
Thank you, Connell. Thanks for having me. Thanks for throwing me under the bus.
No problem at all. The bus is coming hard and fast. We might just literally just start with our first one with obviously a very, very interesting question.
Okay. All right.
This is yours. The first question, of course, is how do you go at spice?
Well, yeah, I like my spicy food.
Mm-hmm.
I like it up until today. So I think the challenge is to maybe change my opinion, and so we'll see how we go.
Please. I feel like the people who say they like spice are generally fine.
Okay.
So you're okay.
Okay.
So second question, more a real
That's
question.
delicious.
No, they actually are tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Second question, what's happening with BetaShares? What's the latest ETF? What do you want to tell us?
Wow. Where do I start?
Oh, no,
that's
that's a big
bad
one.
question to ask me, because anyone who knows me, you'll be here all night.
Well, I'm asking you while you can still talk, so
That's it. Yeah, and then thank you for saving an easy question for the start. You asked me that at the end, and you might not get much of a response. What's going on? We're having a good year at BetaShares. I think managed accounts, ETFs seem to be sort of the place to be for a lot of advisors, so seeing a lot of inflows there. I was just having a look earlier today, actually. I think for the year we've done almost 5 billion of inflows so far, and last year for the whole year we did 5.5 billion.
5 billion, is that it?
Yeah. Well,
Rookie numbers, mate. Rookie numbers.
who else have you had in here?
I'm
Let's
joking.
ask them what they've done.
No.
No, so yeah, it's been a good year. Outside of that business, we've I need to do the source. Sorry. Outside of that, we've launched an investment platform about 12 months ago that we soft launched called BetaShares Direct.
Yep.
That's actually just crossed 100 million of FUM last week, so that was a nice, exciting milestone for everyone in the office.
Yep. Nice.
Free brokerage on all ETFs.
Where's the free brokerage on all ETFs?
On our new investment
Oh,
platform.
on your platform. Sorry.
BetaShares Direct, yeah. So
Cool.
not just BetaShares ETFs, so investors can use anyone else's also for free.
Is it ASX or is it ETFs or what's the actual?
Only ETFs at the moment.
Yep.
We're due to switch on the ASX 300 stocks. Also very nice. Within, I think, maybe the next month or so.
Yep.
So we've recently switched on SMSF accounts and trusts.
Nice.
Having moved away from, having initially just opened it up to individual portfolios. So that's very exciting. So yeah, plenty going on.
Good.
Yes.
This one's called Stellar Fuzz. I don't know what it is about this one. It's called fuzz. It tastes a bit fuzzy.
Okay. What were I didn't look at the names of the first two. I love a buffalo sauce.
And it's like the next one was smoky.
Salsa verde, yep.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, so, plenty going on. We get data from Rainmaker, and I think the last quarterly data we got to the end of March showed that BetaShares was number one for inflows for all fund managers in Australia, not just in the ETF space over the last 12 months. So that's a nice achievement for us.
Good. So my question to go at your hot fuzz, how did you get into the industry?
Okay, that is an interesting flavour,
Isn't it? It's fuzzy.
Yeah, that is a good way to describe it. I don't know. Bit varied.
Yeah.
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 How do I get into the industry? So I studied finance at uni, but before that I wasn't even thinking about finance as a career. I love my fishing personally, so I thought how can I combine a career and my passion for fishing, which is more of a hobby. I don't have a boat or anything, as much as I would like one. So I thought I might sort of pursue a career in marine biology at some stage. So I did some work experience towards the end of high school at the local uni, studying algae blooms in a with a whole lot of scientists in a lab, and thought this maybe isn't quite for me. My mum's a financial advisor.
All right.
So she's been in the industry for quite some time. She's with Hill Ross at the moment. I think she might have been with NAB at the time. And she'd suggested maybe I have a look at like a commerce or finance degree, just good to get into that industry, plenty of jobs available. And I'd started taking an interest in investing at that stage.
Nice.
Did finance at uni, loved it. Put in a lot more effort at uni than I did through high school, and because I guess I'd found my calling. Ended up at a fund manager called Climb Asset Management.
Okay, so the question that goes with that one is, if I gave you $1 million and you had to invest it in one BetaShares ETF, what ETF would you pick?
It's like asking who your favourite child is. Have you got kids, Connor?
2 and 4.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you got a favourite?
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I'm going to have to pick an
That's
ETF
right.
here.
That's right.
Good answer. Well, we've got almost 100. I'd be going for something turbocharged with a lot of growth. I don't need bonds or fixed income or cash at this stage of life. So I'd probably say our geared US S&P 500 ETF, which is GGUS.
Yep.
We've got a whole lot of other technology ETFs. The Nasdaq's probably hard to look past, just given the amount of, innovation around all of those companies listed there. But I think a bit of extra gearing at this stage of life wouldn't hurt too much. So
good answer.
Yeah,
And
GGUS.
just for the record, no, I don't have a favourite.
Then I'll just keep listing all the ETFs that I like.
Okay, so this one is queso sin queso, which is, I think it's cheese without cheese. Yeah, I think it's cheese without cheese.
Is this why you got the hot sauce collection, to show off your Spanish skills?
I think we've pretty much got to all of my Spanish that I can say. So they've got this Scoville rating. So we started at 2,000. We're now up to 34,000. We're on the road to 2.6 million.
That's not fair.
We're still in the tasty range.
How do you get from, what was it, 26,000?
Look, I'm starting to think maybe these
to
aren't
2.6
scientific.
million.
I don't think it's. I think maybe this is logarithmic.
They're the kinds of curves we like to see in finance. That start down here and just take off, the real hockey sticks.
I'm up to number 5. So if you kind of touched on this, but if you weren't a BDM, what would you be?
Yeah, I would love to be a fishing guide. Have a boat. Take people out. There's something about me that loves to educate people. I don't know where that comes from. I love it with finance, for people that don't understand markets and terminology, how to invest, all of that portfolio construction. I love that. I work very closely with my clients and put a lot of work into helping them understand that we're providing them with better solutions than what they might have, and a lot of reasons why. So I love the idea. I'll take friends of mine that have never been fishing and make sure, I put them onto a fish and seeing, the joy on their faces. And, I think
you may need to come with us next time we go fishing.
I think for me that would be an ideal sort of career choice.
We got up at 3 a.m. the other morning. My brother's got a boat. We went out to Jacob's Well. 7 dudes.
You can smell that one.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, all right. We're starting to get into punchy territory now.
I think we caught 1 fish over like a 7-hour trek.
And did you say you were in a boat?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can catch from the shore, though. You see people just
amazing what
surfing
you
around.
can catch if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Exactly.
So this one, I don't know. There's something about the name of this is like both. It's like a double-edged sword. So it's bourbon maple.
Two amazing things.
Reaper hot sauce.
Just lulls you in, and then
bourbon good, maple
it.
good, Reaper hot sauce, and it's like dark.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
So this is the beginning.
I mean,
of the real trek.
Depending on how much bourbon you have, it could also go the other way. So bit like this. Am I making the sauce pause smaller at this stage, or are we?
No, I think maintain it.
Yeah, like a half nuggets there.
Yeah. And if you're on a journey, just keep it about that.
Ooh,
A little less.
starting
But
to taste more.
generally,
Starting to taste more like gasoline.
yeah. Okay. What was I saying?
Do I need to do some more talking here?
No, all good. My job's easier than your job. So, if you had to eat the same food, only one food for the next year, what food would you pick?
As in, like cuisine, or are we talking just like a single dish?
Single dish.
Oh, I was really hoping you'd say
You were
cuisine.
gonna say seafood.
I was going to say Japanese. I love my Japanese food.
Okay.
So let's
So
narrow
you
it
went
down
on your
from there.
honeymoon?
I actually went to France.
Okay, I was wrong. Anyway.
That might have been where, if I was able to have a second honeymoon.
Right.
that might
The
have
old
been-
second honeymoon. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Japanese. But if you had to pick one, what would it be?
Let's say
Stockpiling,
Oh,
end of the world.
Wow.
Pick one food.
Well, this is harder than eating the chili. What is a favourite of mine? That's like me asking you who your favourite child is.
See, for me, it's just anything potatoes. I'm like potato chips, potatoes, potato nuggets, potato nuggets, potatoes.
I do
Anything
love
potatoes.
some
Me.
crisps. Do you know what? I'll go with that. Let's just
Yeah.
go like a packet of chips.
Steal
It's
it.
hard to go past a packet of chips.
All right, so I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe some chili kettle, just to.
Oh, Jesus. No thanks. Not every day. For me, this one is a thing.
Okay.
A
good thing.
It's definitely like the next step up. If the first ones were flavor, this is, I think, the first spicy one.
No, well, it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. Wow. The forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
I love the bottle, and it's a Carolina Reaper chili. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Wow, that is forbidden. How many have they squeezed into this
See,
bottle? Do you
this
think?
is one of my
Wow.
first milk.
Okay.
Ugh.
So I guess the challenge for me is if I can avoid milk
All right.
after this one.
Let's see
then
how you go.
I'm one ahead of you.
Okay. Let's see how you go.
Okay.
Mine was a pre-milking because I just know it's coming.
Okay. So this is where experience sets in.
Uh-huh.
You've done this a few more times than I have.
The first time I did it, I was like you, where I didn't use milk until I was in a lot of trouble.
So I should line my stomach.
I'm pre-milking. All right. So, if the market could talk, what would it be saying right now?
Oh, if the market could talk, what would it be saying right now? Geez, that's a good question. I think it would be saying, buy any dip that I provide to you.
It's a good answer.
I think, if you look back over the last 100 years, some competitors of ours have some very good wall charts, I'll admit, out there, that I see on a lot of advisors' walls.
Rhymes with Schmengard.
Exactly. They're probably, and I think their logo is about the colour of what my face will be in a couple more nuggets.
Yep.
I think they've done a lot of great education, as have a lot of others before them around, I think capitalism starting to lose.
Yeah, it's hard to speak.
My words. Shows that I think people will continue to innovate and try and grow profit, maximise profit growth. As we know, share prices follow earnings, and as long as companies keep growing their earnings over time, I think the stock market will keep going up. Any sort of dips along the way is all noise. People like to jump at shadows. So if I was the stock market, I'd be saying next time I have a nice little dip, 5-10% or more, I'd be buying.
I agree. We started at 2,000. We're now at 135,000, which is a jump up.
Oh, that's easy.
But however, these ones are in the same ballpark. So this is why you're here. Everything else has been playing around. It's all a bit tasty. The reason why you're here is to see how you react to these ones.
Okay, let me just wipe my brow before we...
So I would just remind you, don't touch your lips.
I grabbed a fresh towel. There was no way I was putting that one near my face.
Good luck.
Okay.
So I'll ask the question,
Could be my last beer.
eat your nugget, and then see what you got. Inflation rates are hotly monitored, and they're a big part of the market. So my question to you is, do you regret asking your wife to marry you while fishing?
Great question.
You gotta eat your nugget.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of parts to that question.
Oh, why am I doing this again? Oh, mate.
I already had a lot of respect for you before I came into your office today to participate in this. And then before we started, and you told me this was what, your 7th time?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think now I understand. Now that level of respect is just.
I think because it was my stupid idea.
Step up a notch.
I'm like, well, it's my idea. I have to do it.
Something about inflation. Look, and
No, I don't do inflation. I just heard
my
you had your wife in waiters.
My engagement. Look, I can link the two. I bought the engagement ring as the COVID lockdown started, so before inflation really took off. Yeah, I need milk. Whew. And it's just building. Is milk going to make it worse?
I just did another one. It didn't affect me this badly. I think it's just like a layer.
I think this Brisbane's best beer, Revels. I might need to top up.
Yeah.
Can I call it Brisbane's best beers?
Absolutely.
Oh wow!
Talking
makes it way worse. I think the milk
No, the milk's better.
turbocharged it. No, I don't think I should have had the milk.
Oh, I feel a bit dizzy this time. I think every single one's a different experience.
Okay.
And breathing
Just like
bad.
the different, what is it, like the 7 stages of grief. You've just taken it to a whole nother level of grief that you didn't know you could get to. Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome.
Whew. Wow. There's no way I can tell my story with this. I'm going to try though. So yeah, bought the engagement ring as the COVID lockdowns were coming, the pandemic had started. Thankfully, before the prices doubled in the following year, so thank God that I got in on that engagement ring when I did, because I would have needed 2 mortgages for it instead of 1. But yes, through my love of fishing and the love of my wife, fortunately she loves me because she did say yes. Look, we were down in the snowy mountains, and that was always her sort of sacred place. She'd holidayed there for years growing up with her family. Her mum sadly passed away maybe a year after I met my wife, Belle. And so it was a very special place because she had the connection to the snowy mountains with her mum. So I thought if there was going to be a place, it'd be down there. We'd been on a few holidays. It was our nice little favourite place to go. And I was thinking to myself, well, how can I capture the moment where I proposed to her? You know, you see people asking strangers on the street to hide in a bush, or friends, whatever, to capture the moment. I thought, well, I don't know anyone down at the snowy mountains, except the previous year we'd been on a guided fishing tour for a day. And the legend of the guide, he loved photography, and I thought I could rope this guy into it, no worries. Gave him a call in advance, a few months, started the planning. He was going to take us on a guided tour and go off and take some photos whilst I got it done. So we were head to toe in the classic trout fishing outfit attire, which is weighted.
Is that fly fishing?
Yeah, we were fly fishing.
Yeah.
We're not very good at it.
Yeah.
I'm more of the old school traditional with a reel. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that would be cursing me saying that the fly fishing is actually traditional, more traditional. But so the attire, you're walking through rivers, so you've got to have the waterproof kit on. And the guy had set it up as he was going to do a product shoot. He was actually a brand rep for Yeti and Patagonia.
Yep.
So he'd set up an esky, and he said, look, I need you guys to do some modelling. I'm just going to put some products behind you. So he set up this picnic and some champagne and said, just look happy, be happy. We pulled over, we were in a raft for part of the day and pulled over onto a bank, and he'd set it all up. And so we were sitting there smiling, looking at the camera, pretending to be a happy couple, because we're very unhappy as a couple, we had to pretend.
Sure.
And love you, babe. So I knew what was going on. I then I proceeded to stand up, try to pull her up so I could then drop to a knee, and she started blowing up at me for ruining the shot, saying, Jeremy, you got to stay put, you're ruining the shot. I said, no, come on. And that's how it all sort of came together. So I think it's quite a good story, which just back to inflation rates, as you say, thankfully, with the way that the last few years have gone, I've probably got away a little bit cheaper than I could have had I waited another year or two.
I hear you. More bad news though.
Yeah.
Next.
Oh wow. Sorry, I was.
No.
I keep telling my story and just forget we've got two more because
this is why I was saying
my mouth just about.
If we move through these ones
calmed
quickly,
down.
we get a bit extra time up this end.
My nose is just about stopped running.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've got it on my lips more this time, and it freaking hurts. This one is Chili Monoloco.
Yeah.
Mastastasios Hot Saucio.
I need my translator again for this one.
680,000 on the Scoville rating.
Oh. That's a scary amount compared
definitely.
to what you've got there.
Look, to be fair though, this is my 7th time.
Well, yeah, look, if I'm going to do it once, you might as well do it right. Should I hold that up and is it good?
I could go amount.
Oh. I don't know. Ask me another question that's going to get me talking for ages. I just need to delay this as much as I can.
1 second, please. Okay. Active investing or passive investing?
Look, there's definitely room for both.
Burping's bad too.
Definitely room for both. The stats, which have been running for decades, show that active management is very, very difficult, particularly in large cap stocks. So when you've got 30 analysts judging a stock, most information's known. Someone like a Woolworths might have 20 or 30 analysts from around Australia, even globally, assessing what its profits are going to do in the next 6 months. So it's very hard to have an edge there and find information the rest of the market doesn't have. So a lot of that's already in the price. Small cap investing, on the other hand, the tiny stuff that most fund managers can't
Comes
touch.
back, right?
I think the individual investor like myself can generate some serious performance in the very small and micro cap end of the market. So I'd say, for those with the know-how, definitely persist in the small and micro cap space. Or if you're an advisor, there's some great active micro cap funds out there. There's just, problem is their capacity can't get too big because they lose their edge. Mm-hmm. So you can only put small amounts in. Are we going on to the next one?
No, I'm just...
Mine's still building. I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for it. But definitely the large cap space, passive investing, 9 out of 10 active managers underperform the index over most time frames, 5, 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
That's where ETFs are amazing, especially when you can get them cheap. You're leaving most of your money on the table. You're not paying the returns away in fees. Mm-hmm. But some indexes are a bit more flawed. So the Aussie bond market is now pretty much all government bonds, about 90% government bonds. I wouldn't recommend, and sorry, I should give a general advice disclaimer. I probably should have given a few of these along the way. I wouldn't recommend investing in the Aussie bond index. You'd want some sort of alternative version of that.
Sure.
So yeah, there's room for both.
Okay.
Definitely room for both.
Okay.
Oh,
Time's come, mate.
I don't think there's room for this though.
All right.
What about a cocktail of milk and beer? Wait.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, back and forth between milk and beer. So I'm making some sort of mix in my belly.
I think it's making it worse.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm not drinking the milk. Brisbane's best beer.
Yeah.
Revel. That is fantastic. Seriously, I think my nose is clearing right up. Oh, my hand's actually shaking. That last one got me.
This one's thick. You gotta like really smack it on there.
Oh. So this is pure.
Yeah. This is not. It's just.
They haven't even watered it down, have they?
Nah.
Oh.
All right. So, last question.
Yes.
What is your most spicy experience with investing? You know, what's the most you've made? What's the most you've lost? What's the best spicy story you got for us? And I'm gonna eat this, and you can decide where you're.
Alright, now I'm gonna eat it and try and tell my spicy story. But probably like a lot of people investing in small cap stocks, I've held one or two companies that have gone bust.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, through portfolio
Isn't that lovely
management,
when it just goes to like 0.001? You're like,
what's the
now
point?
what? Yeah.
In the bottom drawer, and hopefully it'll come back one day. Oh. So yeah, tell you what, I did avoid it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of companies that went into bust, but through portfolio management, I only had small amounts in them. I knew they were high risk stocks, so I think the spiciest thing was going all in on a single stock. Put everything in my personal name into this company, which is probably where the Wolf of Margaret Street, term came from at one stage. And fortunately, it did really well for a while. I think it increased about tenfold in the space of about 18 months. And I invested in that just before I probably started at BetaShares. So I became a local legend pretty quickly at the business when I started sharing the idea around.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit and changed, upset the company's business model. And ever since then, the company's been, trying to make up for lost sales and all sorts of things. I'm not sure if management's been the best people in charge of the business. Wow. And it's now back to where it was, however long ago that was, 7 years ago. So to go that hard at one stock, you got to have a lot of conviction. You got to be stupid. I probably had a few hot sauces at the time and was not thinking clearly.
I have it coming out my nose. My nostril is currently spicy. I've not had that before. That's a new feeling for me. Where I feel like it's somehow gone up my nose.
Have you tried? Maybe you snort one as it's your final.
Oh no, thank you.
Go just see what that does.
No, thank you.
I hear the audience say. I hear audience encouragement there at the back.
Mr. Benson, how have you found that?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
You've at least enjoyed yourself.
I've had a great time.
Thanks for coming in.
It's been fantastic.
Thanks for being a part of it. Thank you for answering the questions, and you did a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.